Hey Jelly Babes, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm having a play around with some Shemodern foils and kind of creating some designs using their foil art and their stencils. So getting straight into the mani, I've gone ahead and applied 2 coats of this Kiki London white gel polish, and I'm using some Glitterarty pigment powders. So here you've got Nudie and Sexy Minx, kind of doing like a bit of a subtle gradient on the nail. So I'm starting off with Nudie. So the powder will stick to the tacky layer that gel polish provides. If it doesn't have a very good tacky layer, or you want to do this on normal polish, you can use a transfer foil glue. I use it a lot in my videos, so I will try and leave links to it at the bottom of the video, and maybe a video demonstrating on how you can do that with normal polish. So I'm just sort of blending these 2 colours together as best as I can. So I'm just sort of going back and forth. So there you go, that's how it's going to look. Then you want to go ahead and apply a top coat to kind of seal this all in before you move on to the next step. So obviously this is a gel top coat that I'm using, so you're going to need to cure it underneath your lamp. Generally top coats are 30 seconds underneath an LED lamp, 2 minutes under a UV. So this is the foil glue that I was on about, and you basically just apply it to the nail. It will kind of put like a blue sheen on it, but that will go disappear once it's dry, and it dries completely clear. And I'm going to be using some other pigment powders. So I've got blushing red and yo-yo yellow, and I am going to be actually applying these powders onto the stamper. You can use the brush, but I saw this on a Manisha M's video where she was, you know, working with Shemodern stencils and things like that, and I thought it was like a cool way to apply it, so I sort of thought I'd give it a go, because it did apply really nicely. So you want to get your creative stencil. This is like such an amazing product because you can apply it over the foil glue nail. It doesn't affect the tackiness of it, because obviously this has got to stick to something, so it will lie flat, and they're reusable as well. It's such a genius product. I absolutely love it. So I'm using like the curved edge and trying to apply it, and you know, pushing it down without obviously touching the bit that's left exposed, that's got the sticky glue gel on it. And then I'm getting the stamper and just, I'm so sorry that some of this is out of shot. It's so frustrating when you play it back. Half the time I'm concentrating on what I'm doing and not particularly looking whether I'm in frame. But basically I'm like patting this onto the edge of the nail. So you can see it applies really nice and smooth and lies flat. Then I am peeling off the creative stencil. So you've got that really gorgeous sharp line, and then you can put it straight back on, and this bit's still going to have a tacky layer. That's why I think this creative stencil is amazing, like, because if you used vinyls you wouldn't be able to do this. It'd need to be on a non-sticky base. And then I'm going over with the gold, and then I went back in with the red just to make like that look, you know, like it did beforehand. And then you want to peel off the stencil, and you kind of get that look, which I think that's quite a cool look on its own. It's like a simple look, but it's still quite striking. And as you can see, like, you hardly use any pigment either as well, which is always a bonus. Like, that's all I used on all 4 of the nails. So I've got these roses, like these black outline roses. You can get these in all different sorts of outlines, so you can have it in different colours. You can have a like hollow outline. So I'm just sort of cutting it out roughly beforehand. And you can kind of use the paper backing. They suggest to keep that on, and you can kind of use it as a bit of a handle to help you hold the foil gel as you're kind of like sticking it to your nail. So this is still going to stick to that foil glue. You can do the method where you apply like the Sharpie first, or add glitter to the foil art first, even though it's on its backing, and then apply it. But I'm applying it to the nail first and then working the colour in afterwards. So you want to press it down nice and firm and then peel it off, and then it's left on the nail. I didn't have a great transfer, but don't worry, you can just either get some black polish or a Sharpie, which is easier, and just sort of like dab it onto the nail and fill in the outline where it hadn't quite taken. And then I'm actually going to be filling this in with some Sharpies, but before I do that, I want to just sort of protect obviously this foil, just in case I may have any mess ups. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply the top coat and cure that. And obviously I want to protect the powder as well, make sure that's all sealed in nicely. So I'm pretty sure these are water decals. Like, I can't lift it off like I did with the foil art like I just showed you. So obviously this is the holographic outline, which is super pretty. So I'm getting as much of the like white backing paper off as possible. And I've placed it on upside down, so I'm just going to quickly turn that back around. It doesn't take that much time for it to separate from the backing paper at all, like 10 seconds. And get that off and then apply it to the nail. And kind of like get it where you want it, press it down. And then once you're kind of happy with where it is, you want to get some paper towel and just sort of dab off the excess. They can be a bit tricky to work with water decals. They're kind of like go where they want to go. But yeah, but that is the sort of end look. And like I say, I'm going to use these Sharpies now to fill in the roses. I don't ignore the fact that I've got blue and orange. I was going to fill in the butterfly, but I sort of did it and I didn't like the result, so I took it off. So for the rose, I'm using a red Sharpie. Doing the outline and then sort of going in with the next section with the orange, and then finishing off with the sort of middle section of it with the yellow Sharpie. But it's a great way to get like a really sort of nice gradient. And how beautiful does that look? And like obviously the Sharpies are really pigmented as well. So then you want to finish off with your top coat. If you are doing this with a normal top coat, you'd want to use a water-based top coat. And obviously make sure it doesn't like smudge, because you don't want the Sharpie smudging after you've put all the time in to get this look. So this is the end result. So I put the butterfly on the wrong nail. I would probably put the butterfly on my index and my ring finger, but I couldn't change it around because the size, it would look weird. But yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on this design, Jelly Babes. And you know, thank you for watching. Thank you, Shemodern, for sending me these foil arts to have a play around with. And yeah, I'd love to get your thoughts on what you think about this mani. Would you wear it and all the rest of it? So please leave that in the comments box below. So thank you for watching. Bye.